We are now just under 6 months away from the official release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, that is all set and ready to introduce many different pieces of Jedi and Sith lore that's going to benefit the main characters like Rey and Kylo Ren in this story. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now that's one great thing about Episode 9, is that we are going to be learning a whole lot more about Jedi, Sith, and Force lore, especially within the second act of this movie where Rey and Kylo Ren go on their own personal missions to, of course, the Dark Spire and to the Lost City in Episode 9 by JJ. Now these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that a description of Rey traveling to a place called the Lost City, a location underneath the surface of an unknown world, containing many Jedi and Sith ruins, secrets, and artifacts. It's described that Rey is on her way to the Land of Warriors, a place full of Jedi statues and grave sites. It's described that Rey is looking for secrets of the ancient Jedi, where she eventually stumbles upon a tall statue standing around 70 feet high, and is described to be a representation of the first Skywalker in existence many years ago. The statue is said to be a human male with long black hair, wielding an ancient saber blade that is a part of the sculpture. It's said that toward the base of the statue shows ancient text, revealing the name of the first Skywalker, where Rey uses the books to translate the text, where it translates to Qualm Skywalker. Through this character was said to be the first Skywalker by name. It's unclear on whether or not this Skywalker is the true ancestor or is even related to the known Skywalker bloodline, and may serve as an individual that inspired the name used for the known Skywalker bloodline itself. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that a lot of the meanings to the Episode 9 title are going to be used in Episode 9's plot. And by far, we do know that the first Skywalker is going to have something to do with the meaning of the Episode 9 title. So in this particular scenario, we have Rey traveling to the Lost City, a location that says actually, to be residing underneath the surface of an unknown world that Rey actually travels to in the second act of Episode 9. Now, this character is said to be called Qualm Skywalker. Now, a very interesting name. It's spelled Qualham Skywalker. Very ancient sounding name, almost as if it is something that you would expect to hear from an ancient Jedi. However, the big unknown piece to the puzzle here is that this character, it's not, pretty much known on whether or not this character is related to the current Skywalker bloodline, or if this is the first Skywalker quote-unquote just by name, and is the character that inspired the first actual Skywalker to use the one for their bloodline. Now, we do know that Episode 9 is going to feature a lot of revelations just like this, where we are going to learn a little bit more about the origins of the Skywalker name itself, and exactly how the Skywalker family/bloodline, consisting of, Luke, Anakin, Shmi, etc., and how they got their name Skywalker. And that's all going to be explained in Episode 9, which most likely has all to do with this character called the First Skywalker / of course, Qualm Skywalker. Now, within the Lost City, Rey discovers and stumbles upon this large statue. It's said to be around 70 feet high. Now, that's a very high statue that was created by the Force, the Force creators, and of course, the Force renovators and all those different types of characters that really kept the place up and running throughout the ages of course, well before the events of the prequel trilogy era. Now, with that being said, we also know that Episode 9 is going to feature a lot of Sith lore. In case you guys are uninformed, there's another side of the Lost City that's called the Land of the Forbidden, and that is a location of Sith ruins and grave sites and, of course, different statues to ancient Sith that Rey also travels to, and she's able to communicate with these different Sith spirits because of the dark side energy that lies dormant within her. So the one other piece that I really want to go over that really impresses me is how the first Skywalker, at least in the sculpture of the first Skywalker called Qualm Skywalker, is said to be holding an actual ancient lightsaber blade in his hand. So obviously this Skywalker, you know, came into existence sometime after the events of the First Jedi. You know, since we do know that the First Jedi was even, you know, far long ago, thousands and thousands of years ago. Even Luke Skywalker hinted at this, you know, created 1,000 generations ago when he talks about the books in the tree library. So what's really interesting about Episode 9 is that we will be learning more about all these different pieces of Jedi and Sith lore, as well as Force lore entirely. That's really going to benefit the character of Rey and make her evolve as a character from start to finish of Episode 9, in order to truly learn more about not just the Skywalkers, but also the Force itself. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.